everyone has seen the ads that appear to the right of the natural search results. Some consumers don't know the difference between the natural ones and the paid ones. That's fine, many do. And the typical person performing a search, and this goes for whether it's retail pharmacy items or $1.2 million software packages. They start doing their search by generally by typing in a general term, a wide term. Let's say for how stuff works, how does a steamship work? And they'll visit a site. Normally at the research phase, they'll click on the natural listings, but as they get more and more particular about what they're looking for, they more and more click on the advertisements. So if How Stuff Works sold a book about steamships, for example, David McCauley actually wrote a book about how a steamship works, and they had it for sale, then the last time the searcher typed in a term where they were saying, I'm ready to buy, they would type in the name of the book. Now, the name of the book might not appear in the natural listings because it's a very particular term. So I would, on the behalf of How Stuff Works, bid on those keywords that I think would lead to a sale on their site. Okay, so I would, the advertisements on the site appear as the result of an auction system where I, as an advertiser, list all the words I predict searchers will type in, and then I say I'm willing to pay 50 cents for a click on my ad when my ad appears. Okay, so it's really pay-per-click advertising is really a combination of an art and a science. The science is we can, with some certainty, derive the works, imagine the words that will produce the clicks. And that's a little bit of a science, but also an art, because you have to know what kinds of words people really type into the search box, which is pretty bizarre in some cases. Then the art part goes further when you write the ad, because the ads that appear have to be compelling enough and related enough to the search term that the person performing the search says, right, they know what I want, they have it on offer, I'll click here and I'll go to their site and I'll buy it. Okay, so the artistic part is just as artistic as magazine advertising writing. You know, you've got to make sure that you're meeting a need or a desire, and there's a clear call to action that produces the desired action, in this case buying something. And then there's another artistic part, which is linking the advertising copy to the copy on the page where they land. Because if these three things don't relate very well, that's the keywords, the ad that comes up, and the content of the page where they land on the website, then chances are the sale will not be made. So that's the artistic part. The scientific part is a person in my company has to pore over these statistics about who's clicking on what, how often, how much did it cost, how well are the keywords, advertising copy, and the landing pages lining up with each other. And the good news is we have great tools to measure all this stuff from Google, from Microsoft, from Yahoo, and from other third parties. The bad news is it produces a literally limitless amount of data that you can examine and should. So the whole process is a matter of using a company like mine, using imagination to come up with the words that we think people will type in, writing the words that they will respond to, and doing kind of this arbitrage. You know, it's almost like day trading, where you're constantly looking at the data of what's actually happening and making adjustments in the bid price, in the words that you're bidding on, in the words that you're using to describe the product. And the reason that all this billions of dollars are flowing from traditional advertising to online advertising is the fact that because of all of this data that we're able to examine, we know with certainty what works and what doesn't, and we know with certainty if we spend X, we'll get Y. We can calculate our ROI down to the penny. Okay, so if the advertiser says, I only want to pay $500 or $5,000 a day on advertising, we can, once the campaign has gotten started, tell them with certainty what the return on that investment will be. And that just doesn't occur in any other kind of advertising. It's a crapshoot in every other kind of advertising. You buy eyeballs in a magazine ad, and unless you have very sophisticated tracking, you have no idea what the return on the investment in that ad is. Right? Same with TV, same with radio, same with billboards on the highway.